Dan Willis here, and we're talking about Midland Credit Management, also known as MCM. This is one of the largest collection agencies in our country, and according to their website, they have over 50 years of experience and over 1,000 agents worldwide. They are a subsidiary of the Encore Capital Group. If you're being contacted by Midland Funding, they are the same company, same group of people. Here's the thing. No matter what the debt is, most consumer debts, you're not responsible legally for repayment forever. In fact, the statute of limitations, and this will depend upon which state you reside in, but the statute of limitations actually clarifies and says it clearly, very clearly, that you're only responsible for a debt. For example, a credit card that gets charged off, you're only responsible for that for typically about 7 years, and then you're no longer legally responsible for repayment. This is important just because if your debt's old, it might be a more wise financial decision to not pay it, assuming that it's 5, 6, whatever years old and getting close to that statute of limitations if it hasn't already passed it. So the next step really in assuming that your debt is within that statute of limitations is to seek debt validation. Don't just pay. What debt validation does, and this should be requested through writing, we've got some more help at our website, link in the description below, but it should be requested through writing, and what it's going to do is it's going to force Midland Credit Management to show you the evidence and the documentation that they are the legal owners and can collect on your debt. If they don't provide you this, which is not all that uncommon in the collection industry, if the collection agency doesn't provide this, you're no longer legally responsible for repayment. If they do provide it, then your debt's legal, it's legit. Don't just pay. Always negotiate a settlement payment for much, much, much less. They bought your debt. If they're contacting you for $1,000 debt, they could have bought it for like $100 or maybe like much less. There are endless reports of collection agencies paying like 3% of the total balance to purchase consumer debts. So naturally, if you pay any collection agency, but especially Midland Credit Management, any like huge, they're making big sums of money. That's why collection agencies are in abundance in our country, and there's some goods and some bads to this. But if you make your payment, once you negotiate a much smaller amount, once you make your payment and before you make your payment, you have to get Midland Credit Management to stop. They have to agree, and get this in writing, that they'll stop reporting your account to the credit bureaus in exchange for your payment. Otherwise, once you pay that collection on your credit report, it'll just be changed to a paid collection. That's still not a positive credit building item to have on your credit report. Like, that's still a bad derogatory item that's going to damage anyone's credit score. So you have to get to them to agree to stop reporting your account information. And regardless of where you are, the most efficient way to get Midland Credit off your credit report is to file a dispute with whichever one of the credit reports. You have 3 credit reports, but if you have Midland Credit on all 3, your Experian or TransUnion and your Equifax credit report, then you'll have to file 3 separate credit bureau disputes, one with each one of those credit bureaus. You have 3 credit reports, and this is the big thing. Like, you have to address this because Midland Credit Management especially has a reputation for filing lawsuits. So they could sue you in a court, and if you don't show up or whatever the case, if they win, you could potentially not only have a judgment slapped on your credit report and your credit score just annihilated, but you could potentially have your wages garnished to repay this debt. There are some real clear-cut stipulations and rights that you have. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDCPA, really lays a lot of these out there, and the our government sues collection agencies very regularly, very often for not following the rules. So please be aware of your rights. This is Dan Willis. Please subscribe and join our congregation. Please also visit the link in the description below for some more about Midland Credit Management and to visit our website. We've currently got a free report we're giving away, the 7 super simple steps to clean credit. Please have a fantastic day and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.